You're listening to KKCR Hanalei and KAQA Kilauea. Let's Create Miracles is made possible by KKCR sustaining members in partnership with Healthy Hut and Fish Bar Deli.
Healthy Hut Market and Cafe, now right off the highway in the old school building in Kilauea. Organic and natural groceries, meals and beverages with locally made products. Healthy Hut, a family-owned business, is proud to support KKCR.
Fish Bar Deli in Old Kapa'a Town is proud to support KKCR. Fish Market, full restaurant and bar featuring locally made specialty items served from noon to 9 p.m. Closed on Tuesdays. Walk-ins only. Fish Bar Deli supports local farmers, producers, small businesses, and Kauai Community Radio, 808-378-2244 or fishbardeli.com.
Mahalo for supporting Kauai Community Radio, and a special mahalo to Healthy Hut and Fish Bar Deli for their contribution to the show. Let's Create Miracles. Aloha, kako. A warm greeting to each of you wherever you may be in the world. Hey, komo mai, welcome. You're tuned in to Let's Create Miracles with Wayne Bow, streaming worldwide on KKCR.org. We're broadcasting from a little studio in the Hanalei jungle on Kauai every second and third Sunday of the month at 10 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time. We gather here to explore how to cultivate miracles through practicing the art of what I call forgiveness technology. Let's Create Miracles was birthed in a response to a calling from the Holy Spirit. Hey, kahea anamai aka uhane hemolele, to guide us home to our authentic self. On these Sundays, I'll share with you a revolutionary yet gentle way of erasing hurtful memories and cherished wounds. Practicing the principles of A Course in Miracles with the wisdom of Hawaiian oponopono, we will be able to witness lifetimes of guilt and shame disappear. A miracle, simply put, is a return to our natural state of love, being in unity with God, turning away from the ego's fear-based mindset. We'll be sharing with you is rooted in the original teachings of Jesus through A Course in Miracles, alongside the wisdom of Morrnah Nalamaku Simeona, from her self-identity through Ho'oponopono way of healing. Her loving spirit continues to guide this work through all who will share her profound way of healing. Morrnah and many other great teachers remind us that true forgiveness is not about demanding or giving apologies in the old way we were taught. It's all about loving and accepting ourselves and all others unconditionally, the light and the shadow, while simply observing the judgments and seeing through them into the soul's original innocence. For those of you tuning in who may not be familiar with A Course in Miracles or Ho'oponopono, let me give you a quick introduction to these two profound pathways of healing. Ho'oponopono is a traditional Hawaiian practice of reconciliation and true forgiveness. At its heart, it's about restoring harmony, both with relationships and within yourself. Traditionally, families or communities would gather, often guided by a kupuna, an elder, to bring hidden conflicts out into the open. Through honest responsibility, repentance, forgiveness, and gratitude, balance was restored and love would flow once again. Now here's the beautiful part. A Course in Miracles offers teachings that echo these same principles. Scribed by Helen Schuckman as the voice of Jesus, ACIM rests on these three profound declarations. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. The first line reminds us that God's love is eternal and cannot be harmed. That's what is meant by nothing real can be threatened. The second line tells us that what is not eternal, everything appearing in space and time, has no ultimate reality, because it will pass away. And from these two truths come the third. In recognizing what is eternal and what is not, we discover the peace of God. When we choose to live in alignment with God's will for us as perfect happiness and begin to feel our Creator's eternal love within us, something profound shifts. We begin to awaken from the dream of time-based, mortal existence, remembering our soul's birthright, everlasting life. God's will for us is nothing less than perfect joy and peace. So whenever we experience anything like fear, guilt, shame, we can be certain these thoughts are not from the mind of God. They arise from the ego's conditioning that we were born in sin and we are never worthy or enough. True forgiveness is about choosing to be fully responsible for all our thoughts, words, emotions, and actions. Observing them and embracing them with loving compassion rather than condemnation. True forgiveness is not about judging yourself or others for mistakes, shortcomings, or unmet expectations, and then waiting for an apology. Instead, it's about retraining ourselves to see the innocence that exists in everyone, even through the behaviors and patterns that may trigger us. Pure innocence has never left us. It may be buried beneath layers of guilt and shame, but at the soul level, it remains radiant, untainted within our being. When we practice self-responsibility by simply observing human behavior without blame, we can actually see everyone's innocence in the narrative. A Course in Miracles reminds us, through the words of Jesus, every experience offers us a chance to be a happy learner. And every learning moment is also an opportunity to proclaim not only another's innocence, but our own. In Morrnah Nalamaku Simeona's updated Self I-Dentity through Ho'oponopono, this uncovering our gleeful innocence happens by erasing painful memories. This practice is done by bringing those memories to the Holy Spirit through a mantra. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And here's the science of it. Once the hurtful past is truly forgiven, it no longer exists. It loses all meaning and all power to influence your present life. So how do we reclaim our divine inheritance of original innocence? It begins with cultivating miracle-mindedness, choosing to see the world differently through the single eye of spirit, without duality or judgment. It begins by recognizing that every person is a reflection of a child of God that we all are, regardless of appearance or behavior. This unique psychology of vision sparks or activates miracle impulse. We practice seeing the innocent soul with a loving acceptance using the Holy Spirit's vision beyond the ego's interpretation. The world we see is not real or fixed. It is shaped by the filters, programs, and patterns that we inherited from generations before us. When we realize this, we can choose to practice seeing everything and everyone through our spiritual eye. Even our bodies will take on a new meaning. Rather than identifying with the body as who we are, we can utilize it as a temporary communication device, a way to share and extend the love of God. This universal love is an ever-expanding, high frequency of our own radiant presence within the mind of God. And if any of this sounds religious to you, let me be very clear here. This is not from any religion. It's a spiritual science, I would call it. The words may echo religious terms, but the essence of what's being shared here is something much deeper. Many Hawaiian priests and masters recognized this truth and adopted the original pre-Christian teachings of Jesus because they could hear and feel that his message was rooted in the miracle of Aloha Lani, divine love. We're living in a time of accelerated awakening, and now more than ever, it's vital to nourish our relationship with a living God. Keakua ola mau. My purpose here is to hold sacred space, a sanctuary for your soul, and to remind you of this: no matter what you've done or not done, no matter what has been done to you, or no matter what trauma you've endured in this lifetime or any other, you are not broken. The real you is still whole. Within every human experience, there's joy and peace, undisturbed, even if you don't feel it in the moment of intense feelings. It's underneath. The ego reacts quickly when it hears the truth of our being as love in a body. It will rush in with condemning thoughts to bring us back to feeling unworthy. The ego is heavily armed with logic and moral reasoning, born of man-made programming that every human receives at birth, regardless of race or culture. It's no one's fault. It's not your fault, my fault, God's fault. Humanity is simply evolving through what our ancestors left behind and moving toward the remembrance of our oneness with a loving Creator. In the 1980s, Hawaiian Kahuna Lapa'au healing priest Morrnah Nalamaku Simeona reframed the traditional oponopono practice into a modern form she called Self I-Dentity through oponopono. Her vision centers on the idea that each of us is solely responsible for our reality, our feelings, and our experiences. By clearing or erasing memories, thoughts, and beliefs, we can achieve healing both within ourselves and within all our relationships. The practice itself is simple yet profound. Repeat the 4 phrases. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. This gentle mantra acts like a cleansing rain on the mind, washing away old stains and reconnecting us with our true, innocent self. Self-responsibility is at the heart of Morrnah's teaching, as well as A Course in Miracles. By taking ownership of our thoughts and beliefs, we can break the looping patterns of judgment and blame and reclaim everyone's innocence in any narrative. Morrnah also described the inner family triad: the conscious mind, mother; the subconscious mind, child; and the superconscious mind, father. When you say the 4 phrases, the mother addresses the child, offering an apology for the hurt it's been carrying. The father, your higher self, offers loving support for the process. In this way, an inner dialogue that brings all parts of our inner family into harmony. Kahi ohana. Learning to love ourselves as God loves us can be challenging at first, but through devoted practice, these healing concepts become living habits. Eventually, we begin to experience heaven on earth from our deeper home within, even when the world doesn't reflect this. We're using a form of angelic vision to see everyone and everything with the mind and through the mind of God. When we can see everyone's innocence, including our own, we are truly free. E haku kako ina kuapana o ke aloha. Let us weave together the miracles of love.
And to be all
That was Patty Kalea Okalani Miller singing I Remember. Hey, aloha kako. Good morning to everyone here in the state of Hawaii. Good afternoon to everyone in North America. And good evening to all those in Europe. And for all you guys in Dreamtime in Australia, I'm sure you'll get it through the ethers. I'm Wayne Kealohi Powell, and this is Let's Create Miracles on KKCR.org. KKCR Hanalei and KAQA Kilauea. So excited. We've got a great show for you today. But before we do anything else, this came across my desk on the way here this morning. There's a celebration of life in loving memory of Brada Lou Kaninau Kabibi. It's happening at the Keikaha Neighborhood Center at noon today. So that's today. All those that would like to honor his amazing life and what he gave to this planet while he was here. Let's see, December 2nd he was born, 1954, to August 23, 2025. Following the open ceremony, there'll be a reception with paina music and the sharing of stories, talk stories, in Lou's honor. So with love and the whole community of Kauai, thank you, Brada Lou, for what you gave to this world, this community, and this planet. So before I introduce my guest and we go any further, we're going to have a few messages. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The Hawaiian Music Calendar is supported by HawaiianMusicStore.com. Mahalo, HawaiianMusicStore.com, for your support.
Aloha kakahia kakako. Welcome to our Hawaiian Music Calendar for Sundays. On the North Shore, the Tahiti Nui Restaurant and Lounge in Hanalei features Bronson Iwohi and the Pu'uvai Trio from 6:30 to 8:30. The Happy Talk Lounge at the Hanalei Bay Resort features Michael Ke'ali from 6 to 8. On our east side, Timbers Bar at Hokuala features Wes Kaui and Lift Furtado from 4 to 5:30. Shutters Lounge at the Outrigger Kauai Beach Resort features Jonathan from 6 to 8. The Lava Lava Beach Club at the Kauai Shores Hotel in Kapa'a features Anson from 3 to 5, followed by either Sheldon Espina or Danny DeFries. They rotate from 6 to 9. The Nepali Brewing Company in Kapa'a features John Kepamahi from 5:30 to 7:30. On our South Shore, Keoki's Paradise Restaurant and Bar in Po'ipu features Kyla Benz from 4 to 6 with Hula by Nicole in the dining room. Merriman's Fish House at the Kukui'ula Shopping Center in Po'ipu features Auntie Kaulani Kahale Kai from 5:30 to 7:30. The Seaview Terrace at the Grand Hyatt in Po'ipu features Kyla Benz from 7:30 to 9:30. And on the west side, the Koke'e Lodge features Nick Castillo from 12:30 to 2:30, and Japanese Grandmas in Hanapepe features Russell Wellington from 6 to 8. If you have Hawaiian music events you'd like posted on our Hawaiian Music Calendar, please send me an email at events@kkcr.org. Attention, Linda. Mahalo nui loa. Have a great Hawaiian day.
This is Pat Durkin for the Kauai Lifeguard Association with an important beach and ocean safety message for visitors to the island. Kauai's beaches are not only some of the most beautiful in the world, but also subject to dangerous ocean conditions such as rip currents, shore break, and large surf. The best way to enjoy our beaches and stay safe is to swim at one of our 10 lifeguard-staffed locations. On the North Shore, they are Ke'e Beach, Ha'ana Beach Park, Pine Trees, and Hanalei Pavilion. On the east side, they are Anahola Beach Park, Kealia Beach, and Lydgate Park. On the south shore, Poipu Beach is the only lifeguard-supervised beach. On the west side, you will find lifeguards at Salt Pond in Hanapepe and Keikaha Beach Park. Please take the time to pick up our free Kauai Beach Guide with a map of these important lifeguard locations. They are staffed 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. With today's beach and ocean safety tip, I'm Pat Durkin for KKCR Radio. Have fun and be safe.
Welcome to DJJ's Minute of Local History. I'm your host, Disc Jockey Jackson. Did you know that Kilauea School was originally founded in 1882? The original campus was located at the corner of Kalihiwai Road and Kohio Highway for about 40 years. The existing campus on Kolo Road opened in 1922. This campus is about 102 school years old. In total, Kilauea School itself was about 142 school years old. The fire alarms used to be metal triangles that you would ring with a metal stick. One of them can still be found outside the A building. At Kilauea School, the teachers used to live on campus. Originally, most of the students were Kilauea sugar plantation workers' children. Thanks for listening to DJJ's Minute of Local History on KKCR.
Well, all right. Well, if you just tuned in, this is Wayne Kealohi Powell, and this is Let's Create Miracles on Sunday morning. Beautiful day here in Hanalei, Kauai. And this show today, I've been given, the title of it is Freedom. And I realized in my studies of what I wanted to present to you today that, you know, all of these practices that I'm sharing with you and my cohort Hope will be sharing with you, they're all about creating peace or finding peace within yourself that already exists. And what that does is it opens so much freedom in all of your bodies and your energy body and your experience of the world. So I came upon a book that Morrnah Nalamaku Simeona has written that's out of print. It's quite a rare, and it also speaks to everything that I'm sharing with you. So before I get into that and read a few passages of her poems, I would like to introduce you to Hope Johnson, who is an amazing teacher in the world today, sharing primarily her mystic wisdom from A Course in Miracles. So, beloved sister, are you with us?
I am with you, and I love you.
Aw, I love you, dear. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you're not here, but you are here. I'm imagining you sitting across the studio console here and talking into the microphone with me. So that's how, in fact, you know, I mean, we just teach this oneness thing, right? So,
yes, there's no space. There's no distance between us.
Yeah, you know, and I've really been enjoying correlating the two systems of Ho'oponopono and ACIM and noticing, you know, how they blend together and also where they sort of come apart.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just so cool to just, you know, just observe it all. And I was surprised when I opened Morrnah's book last night, started reading, because there wasn't anything in it at all. Not one word about, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. It was all these prayers of communion that she's having with God.
Ooh, how beautiful.
And to the point where she loses herself as God is speaking to her and she's writing what he's saying to her soul. And that happens a lot in A Course in Miracles with Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting because as you're listening to it, you're wondering where you are in the narrative, where you are in what they're speaking. Are you God speaking to yourself? Are you know what I mean? Or are you the Son of God listening to yourself? You know, so anyway.
You're all of it. You're all of it, of course.
Of course. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, the Creator is being, right? The Creator is just being. Without being in relationship, the Creator can't know itself.
True. Mm-hmm.
So that relationship is God and the created Son of God.
Mm.
That's how the relationship is formed.
Mm-hmm. Mm. And you know, for me, what I realized last night in what you said, the feeling that brings to me, I mean, peace is a given, you know, when there's no you and you are everything and nothing in the same moment. Peace is a given. But what Morrnah is speaking about in her book, in quite a few of her poems, is freedom.
Mm.
In fact, her book doesn't even mention her own name anywhere in the book. It's published by the Foundation of I. I being, you know, the unnameable source of all, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Foundation of I Incorporated, Freedom of the Cosmos.
Mm.
Let's breathe that in for a minute. Freedom of the cosmos. So I realize this is an aspect of our being. It's just a different point of view, right?
This is an aspect of our being, meaning what? Freedom?
Well, no, that's the feeling that the I engenders when we own it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, for sure. There's a big sense of spaciousness.
Exactly, yeah. So, indulge me, please. I'd like to read a passage of the preface of her book, which is published in credit to the Foundation of I, Freedom of the Cosmos, called Dewdrops of Wisdom is the name of the book. Within you lies the essence of creation, the key that enables you to be attuned with all of life, with every atom and molecule of creation. This key you can choose to create peace, understanding, love, and abundance, first with yourself, secondly with your family, and thirdly with the community and the universe. It is only through this key that you will be able to experience life peacefully, reverently, humbly, and in the spirit of love. And what is this key? Your self-identity. It is only through an understanding of who you are that life truly becomes meaningful and purposeful. The price of not knowing who you are is a life pervaded with chaos and dis-ease of mind, body, and spirit. Dewdrops of Wisdom provide you with an opportunity not just to think about the meaning of life, but to truly feel and to experience its vitality and pulse. The essence of this book is life, and you as both creator and destroyer of your own life. Wow. And who are you? You are the water of life, the dewdrops of creation. You are a child of light, a beloved star in the universe. You are a brother and a sister of every atom and molecule of the universe. You are that life force which courses through the ponderosa pines of the Colorado Rockies, that surges through the thunderous surf of the Bonsai Pipeline, and that radiates through the yellow sands that people the quiet Bermuda shoreline at daybreak. Truly, you appear to be a paradox, for you are everything and nothing. Your essence cannot be shackled and bound by time and space, for who you are is the breath of life. Come, take my hands, and let us flow through the rhythms and echoes of the dewdrops of life. Allow them to draw you gently into yourself, into the core of your being, where all is known and revealed, wherein lies your purpose and all that you need to fulfill this purpose. Truly, anything outside of your essence is alien to your being and can only cause separation, pain, and burden of mind, body, and spirit. So come now into the haven of your heart. Let the dewdrops of wisdom be a passage into the core of your being. Feel the essence of your being and know that you are timeless and forever. Hear the eternal voice beckoning you home to the timeless shores of your essence, where you shall be now and forevermore. Let's breathe that in. Well, Hope, thank you for joining us. And for the newcomers, would you please tell us a little bit about yourself and how your journey began with A Course in Miracles?
Okay, yes. How my journey began? My journey began when I was just a little kid. I mean, that's where it really starts. It's just A Course in Miracles came around at a time where I was just full of spiritual knowledge, but with no way of applying it. So there's pretty intense feelings going on. And so when I opened that book and I read, I think I just opened it somewhere in the book and just read something in there. And I just had a huge realization, oh my goodness, it's all done. Everything is done. So then I go, I'm going to study this book. And so I studied the book and put it into practice, especially. I needed to put it into practice right away because I was it was like a crisis of the experiences that I was having with every single family member, even in my immediate family with husband and 3 kids and extended family members too. It was important to me that I learn it as quickly as possible. So I started doing the lessons and I started implementing them into everything that I was going through, to where that just became the whole purpose of me breathing.
It sounds like a quest for freedom.
Definitely, because it's like all these burdens and all these upsets in our relationship. It's the opposite of who we are. When we express love, that's our freedom. That's our creativity, to be expressing love.
True that. Yeah, and that ties into the energy of creation as well. It's all a spectrum of energy that we have access to, as in Morrnah so clearly stated.
Yeah, we're able to because of who we are. We're never separated from God. Because of who we are, we're able to see everything that is not created by God as meaningless. See? It's like you differentiate between what's real is eternal, what's not real passes away.
Wow. There's an awful lot that's not real going on in the world.
Yeah, it's going on in your mind, though. That's the thing to see.
Yeah, true.
What you seem to see as the world and seems to be going on in the world, that is an out-picturing of your thoughts that you're not aware of. that's why they're reflecting back to you in the world. In each instant where it seems like the world is actually outside of yourself and you come back to the truth, that's a miracle.
Yes. And a miracle, it sets a lot of energy free.
Yes.
That's been bound up by all kinds of chaos.
Yes, they've been called blocks to love. Because they take up that space in the mind that love would immediately fill if it were allowed to be released, if the painful thoughts were allowed to be released.
It's such a beautiful metaphor for releasing things in the body and releasing things in the mind. You know, it's pretty much the same game.
Well, yes, and the body is a reflection. So it's an effect of what transpires in the mind. So if you find yourself in a state of releasing physically, that's an effect of mental release. And that comes through willingness. Willingness to be released of whatever it is that's coming in worldly form, because it doesn't make any sense and you can't make any meaning of it anyway, so you might as well just return to the heart of truth.
I love that. Wow.
Me too. I just love to stay here. It's so fun.
And there it is. You know, that feeling of freedom is fun.
Yes.
Oh, fun. A good acronym. Wow. Freedom you now.
Yep. That's the fun. You know, when you recognize anything as upsetting as being a call for love. And what is the call for love? It's to be loving to yourself.
True that.
Allow God's love to shine on you as the holy created Son of God that's never affected by anything that seems to occur in the world, anything you say, do, anything.
And so why is that so difficult, Hope, to actually feel God's love?
Well, you could call it addiction. It's these thought patterns are addictive to an egocentric, separate self that wants to prop itself up. For instance, say there's someone in the world that you think is doing a bad job in the world. That's your self-talk coming out. There is no world separate from your own mind.
Yeah, it's all happening in your mind. I get that.
Yes. So, you know, it's like we've said that a lot. We, meaning me and a bunch of other people that I hear saying that all the time.
I know.
Living it is actually a willingness that you know, you can cultivate a willingness. You just offer a little bit of it, and then you could say Holy Spirit or your higher self helps you see like justification for your willingness, like proof that your willingness is actually helpful, beneficial.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. And
so it grows and grows and grows until you're totally certain that love is true, and you don't allow yourself to perceive in separation just because it hurts and you'd rather feel good and have fun.
Isn't the willingness
Yeah, that willingness, that little willingness that you offer is aligned with the will of God for you. That's why it has so much power.
Okay, I remember what that thought was. The willingness seems to be about, from what everybody's saying who's teaching spirituality, remembering. Not becoming something that we already are, but remembering what we are. Correct?
Yeah. Well, it's willingness to remember in that moment, right? Because in that moment, you're basically forgetting and you're focusing on worldly things that came out of forgetfulness.
Mm-hmm.
So you're willing to remember, even if it's just a little bit. And you might be able to tie that into one of your experiences where you find your mind projecting, and you just notice yourself offering a little, like a nod to God, like a little looking in the direction of truth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, beautiful. And that's why I played that song, I Remember, I Am the Love That Heals Everything.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I produced that song. It's on the Great Love album. It's easy to find from my catalog, Wayne Powell. And that was sung by Patty Kalea Okolani Miller, who we were married for 10 years, and we made that album. It was one of our children.
Beautiful.
Aloha nui. So look at the word remember. Remember, right? We're pulling together the parts of something.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, in making the world, in making up the world, we're making fragments.
Right.
So to remember is to bring those fragments back into wholeness within yourself. They're all those fragments are aspects of the whole, but they're cast out of your mind in a dream. So remembering who they are is bringing them back into the wholeness, the oneness that you are, so you can be in true relationship with everyone and everything.
Oh, that's so beautiful. So much freedom in that. And at this point, before we reach the top of the hour, I'd like to read another poem by Morrnah Nalamaku Simeona called The Chimes of Freedom. This is in the back of her book, which is Dewdrops of Wisdom. So you can make it a meditation if you like. Close your eyes, internalize, because as I said earlier, she's embodying the oneness of it all through these words. And it's interesting what your perspective might be. Let the atoms of the universe be as chimes, announcing the coming of the light. Let their music ring throughout the cosmos. Let each atom harmonize and ring in its own way. Freedom, freedom, freedom. Let the birds of the high mountains and the fish of the oceans reverberate in their very being to the tolls of freedom, for they too shall journey into the light. Let the birth of each baby be the birth of freedom. Let each star in the heavens flash like fireworks, announcing the call to freedom. Quote, "Come, my children of the light, let us sing together to every soul of every atom the choice of freedom. Let us walk together on the path of freedom, freedom from want, freedom from pain, freedom from loneliness, freedom from all that which binds us to desire and to this world." End quote. Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna. The Father beckons, the Father calls, quote, "Come home, come home, come home to the freedom of our oneness." End quote. Let this day ring out our intention to walk on the path of freedom to the soft cadence of the Father's call, to the soft pulse of the Father's heart. Father, we hear the bells of freedom. We hear the sounds of your voice moving through us as a breeze through the pines of the high mountains. We hear your sounds pinging and echoing through the depth of the oceans. How beautiful are the oceans and mountains as they reverberate with freedom. But more beautiful is the sound of your voice beckoning us home on the road of freedom. I am always here. In the vast universe, I am here. I am always here. Know that you and I are the universe. Wonderful to behold. How proud I am to behold each of you in the love of my embrace. Oh, life eternal, that is what you are. Release, release, release yourself to eternity, where I wait for you in the recesses of my heart. You know, when I was teaching in Germany, I really didn't have much of a relationship with Morrnah other than knowing what she had accomplished. I was sitting at a dining table and with my German hosts, and they asked me her name, and I said Morrnah Simeona. So they cleared the table after dinner, pulled up the computer, and found her online. And as we were talking, they said, "Hey, you know, Morrnah passed away just about an hour from where we're sitting in 1992." And here I was in Germany, there to teach her work in 2023. And chills just all over my whole body as I felt her presence, continuing her work in Germany. And it was at that time I realized that she was promoting me to carry forth, you know, her footprint here, and I feel honored to do so. So we're going to take a little station break here, and we'll be back with more Hope Johnson, ACIM, and Let's Create Miracles.
The Hawaiian Music Calendar is supported by HawaiianMusicStore.com. Mahalo, HawaiianMusicStore.com for your support.
Fire, a family-owned and operated business specializing in 24/7 water damage cleanup, mold remediation, and fire damage.
Aloha,
For more
kakahia,
information and
kakako.
estimates,
Welcome to our Hawaiian Music Calendar.
8100 or visit KawaiiMold.com.
Civilization may have progressed enough to conquer the second law of thermodynamics. This law has been a barrier to direct energy usage without fuel. Charlie Brown, grassroots inventor located in Kilauea, Kauai, seeks to work with the like minds for decentralized, non-capitalist development.
Kauai Community College offers courses year-round through the Continuing Office of Education and Training. Interested in a new skill? KCC offers pickleball, yoga, or beginning Filipino. Ready to advance your career? You can choose from lots of online or in-person classes. To learn more, visit kauai.hawaii.edu.
Ha Coffee is equal parts coffee, community, and culture, with a community center and co-workspace with classes and workshop. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Hale Lihue, 4286 Rice Street in Lihue, and at hacoffee.store. Mahalo to Ha Coffee for supporting Kauai Community Radio with this underwriting message.
Forgive me, I'm still getting all the buttons confused here. But thank you to all our underwriters and for supporting Kauai Community Radio. This is KKCR Hanalei and KAQA Kilauea. You're listening to Let's Create Miracles right here in the jungle of Hanalei. And we have a special guest today, Hope Johnson from Hope Johnson Ministries. You can find her and all of her work at hopejohnson.org. So, Hope, are you still with us?
I am still with you.
Oh, God bless you. Thank you for your patience. So, continuing this theme of freedom, you know, it just seems to me like it's the bomb. And I don't really like that word, but it's kind of like slang for the kind, I guess, in Hawaii, yeah?
Yes, for sure. I mean, that's the nature of our being. That's the way in which we are created to create freely.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And when we're not free, when our mind isn't free because it's encumbered by guilty thoughts, burdens, things like that, we cannot see our creations. It's not that we stop creating, but it's that we make this mirage over our true creations, which we tend to take as reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's so easy to do. It's so human, right?
Well, yeah, and the thing is, it's like we're not human. We're let's say we're in a relationship with humans.
It's almost like being in the holodeck.
The holodeck.
Oh, you're not a Star Trekkie. Yeah.
Okay, I think I know what you're saying now because I've seen parts of that. Yeah.
They walk into this room and they press a couple of buttons and they have any reality they want.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And whatever reality we perceive, it only seems to be there because our mind desires it.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
And applying that.
Mm-hmm.
When you're getting a perception, for instance, that something outside of you is doing anything. Don't let the world prove to you what reality is. All it can prove to you is that an error has been made.
and yet everything's okay.
Yeah, well, because it's not really there. That's why everything's okay. If it was really there, everything would really not be okay.
So in other words...
It is not God's will for us to be dying, for one thing.
True that, yeah. I hear that.
Yeah.
Wow. So in reality, there's only peace, joy, love, and happiness, and everything else is an illusion.
That's right. And so, then what do you do with that? That's the thing. It's like, are you just going to go, okay, that's the case, and then go about just being the same way? It's like, no, we actually have a choice here. We could actually choose to see things as they are rather than as we made them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As we perceive them is as we made them. For instance, the idea that there's any suffering in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay? If God didn't create suffering, and God didn't, then it really doesn't exist, and we're making it up. We're making it up along with all these other versions of ourselves too, but that doesn't matter.
Mm-mm. No.
Because we can easily inspire these other versions of ourselves to see the way we see. Mm-hmm. All these other versions of ourselves are affected by the way we see because they're in our mind.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Here's a great segue at this point, because what you've laid down the foundation so beautifully for the lesson that I want to bring to you to open up for us.
Fine.
Yeah, and it is what it gives to me or presents to me as a reflection, this particular lesson, is the actuality, the authenticity of us not being separate in any way from our Creator, that we are our Creator. Our Creator is us having experience. As us, and we're having experiences as our Creator, and there is no division. Well, I'm a real cosmic muffin. I always have been. In the years I was born, and smoking a lot of pot in the 70s, and just staring up at the stars at night and feeling a communion with the entire universe, and in a way that I couldn't even explain. So when I came upon this lesson, and when I came upon what Morrnah had written, it blew my mind. I wanted to bring it to the stage here and open it up so others could feel that same unity that there is no division. So in the song we're going to hear later on that I wrote called Universe We Are, there's a poem in the middle of it, and it describes how when you look up into a night sky, really dark, with no city lights at all, and what do you feel? You can see, of course you see all these twinkles, whatever, lights, constellations, that's all 3D. But what can you see beyond your feelings is what the song is about. Can you actually feel the community that we have as a universe, not just a planet or a neighborhood? And so anyway, this particular lesson in this is the ACIM book, A Course in Miracles book, lesson 253. It's in it's the purple book, the complete and annotated edition. If you want to follow along, it's in part 2, page 1429 of the complete and annotated purple edition of the Course in Miracles. This is lesson number 253. Now I'm going to read the lesson, and then Hope will let you open it up like you do so well on your recordings.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. You guys sit tight, embody this, remove all your filters, because this is a transcription of our beloved brother Jesus, and he's in communion with our Father, which is the one Creator, and the lesson is this: myself is ruler of the universe. Now, before I go on, I want to tell you the word self has a capital S. Okay. Myself is the ruler of the universe. It is impossible that anything should come to me unbidden by myself. Even in this world, it is I who rule my destiny. What happens is what I desire. What does not occur is what I do not want to happen. This must I accept. For thus am I led past this world to my own creations, children of my will. In heaven, where my holy self, capital S, abides with them and him who has created me. Verse 2. You are the self whom you created, Son. Creating like yourself and one with you. Myself, which rules the universe, is but your will in perfect union with my own, which can but offer glad assent to yours, that it may be extended to itself. Now, to me, that's a fully loaded gun of consciousness.
Oh, yes.
Should we take it line by line? I give it to you, Hope.
Okay, thank you. Yes, myself is ruler of the universe. And this, as Wayne pointed out, capital S self, this is not the ego, this is not about pride, this is not about anything like that. It's just the truth of the way it is. Okay? Because there's one creator, and the creator created a son like itself, and that self is ruler of the universe. Okay, so it's impossible that anything can come to me unbidden by myself. This is not just some fancy words. This part really, when this is seen, when this is recognized, and this is what it means by a little bit of willingness, little bit of willingness to recognize that everything that comes to me, I wanted to be there, and that's why it's there. So even in the little things, even in the keys are lost, or someone cut me off in traffic, all those kinds of things, it's all just recognizing nothing comes to me. And this is where a little bit of willingness is offered, because this is not the way the mind's been conditioned. The mind has been conditioned to see things as threats, as coming from outside of itself. So this is where a little bit of willingness comes in, to see that you want it to be there. That's why it's there. Okay? So even in a world that's a meaningless world, it's still you who rule your destiny. What happens is only what you desire. Nothing can come from outside of that. What does not occur is what you do not want to happen. Isn't that amazing?
I love that so much.
I know. So let's say you're in a relationship with someone. You're like, wow, I really hope they ask me out to this thing or whatever. And when you recognize that that doesn't happen, it's also because you didn't want it to happen. Mm-hmm. You recognize that this world is not something that keeps you prisoner at all. You just get to have so much fun with everything, knowing that it's all happening according to how you desire it to happen.
Yeah, and that can be subconscious as well. I mean, because we tend to run on programs of what we think we want.
That's right.
But the deeper desire is actually in control, is what I'm hearing.
That's it. So it's like, it says, this must I accept. Because when you accept that, whatever happens comes out of your own desire, you're willing to allow yourself to be led to peace right now. Why, it says, for thus am I led past this world to my creations. These are your true creations. Mm-hmm. Okay? Children of my will. Your will is joined with God's will. It's the same. You see how God created His Son to know Himself, to be in relationship, to create like Him. And you can say her, you can say it doesn't matter. Children of my will, that means you're looking on your own creation. Okay? It says, in heaven where my holy self abides with them and Him who has created me. See, this is how you know the children of your will, your true creations, is willingness to see past the world you made. Willingness to see that no one that you look upon through the eyes of perception are as they are, because they haven't changed from the way God created them to be. And even in a dream, they come as a total gift to you. Seeing them as 100% helpful, because in any moment where they seem unhelpful, that's a call for love. That's a call for you to accept the love of God. And in using this lesson, myself is the ruler of the universe, you're taking full responsibility for what you're perceiving so that you can have the underlying beliefs corrected for you.
You know what that did for me? I'm a recording artist, and I've never really been able to understand what this lesson is saying until recently. And I love the way it refers to our creations as our children. Mm-hmm. And how that cascades down from our Father's love, gives us life.
Yes.
And our life gives birth to all these wonderful things that are empowered with our Father. Because I feel so free when I'm in a recording studio. I don't have any second thoughts about what should be done. It just unfolds like magic. And
you can't even ever be in a recording studio. Right? So the recording studio arises in your mind, even the idea that your body is in that recording studio.
Mm-hmm.
So the freedom is really come from your allowing it. This idea that
Yes.
you're in a recording studio is kind of like a permission slip for you to express the freedom that you are.
Right, yeah. It's almost like in getting into a vehicle. You're not the vehicle, but you're driving it.
Yeah, so that's why when you're living in the freedom of what you are, because you're living that within yourself, which you're just mind in this case, this way of looking at it. You're just mind. So it's the freedom in your mind, and it doesn't require more experiences for that, more experiences in the world to perceive freedom. See, and then that's when there's no more use for the world.
Right. And what's happening with me in all of that is I'm just now owning that it wasn't me who created the music. That's an illusion. And that gives me so much strength and courage to move it forward.
Right.
Because it came from grace, freedom.
Yes, it's impersonal.
Yeah.
When it's impersonal, then you don't have that handicap of a personal self that analyzes itself constantly.
And it's our kuleana, too, though, to find what gifts that we carry in this lifetime that we can fuel with, our Father's energy, merge with our will, and create our children, as it says in this verse, to gift back to the universe.
Yeah, I mean, finding something, in the world, it just feels like, to me, a little bit like pressure, right? Like, if I don't find that, I'm not complete or something, right?
Yeah.
Whereas it's like this. It's like allowing the completeness through whatever. I mean, you're wired to seek in the world. Well, let's say you're wired to seek as a separate self that you made. It's seeking.
Sure.
But you can direct all that seeking toward truth, seeking the truth, instead of seeking to be something in the world. But that doesn't mean that you should do that. It's like you're going to find yourself seeking in whatever way you need to feel safe, in the world. But the true seeking is to seek inward and then let your being be expressed instead of someone trying to become something in the world. You see
Exactly what I was trying to say. Thank you for those words.
Yay. Yeah. Sometimes words are funny. They're all pointers, and really, it's like sometimes we look at them and go, "What do I really mean?"
Yeah, I mean, like in Morrnah's passage, let us walk together on the path of freedom, freedom from want, freedom from pain, freedom from loneliness, freedom from all that which binds us to desire into this world. So.
Exactly. So to feel free with no reason, that's the thing. You're free from want. You're free from desiring. You're free from loneliness, boredom, all those kinds of things, because you're recognizing the self as the Son of God, and that's the same as God, which is basically what this lesson is saying. You are the self, capital S self, whom you created Son. You are the self whom you created Son, creating like yourself and one with you.
Wow.
See that?
Wow.
There's truly no separation, truly. And when it's actually applied in the experience, you don't need anyone to agree with you or anything to join with them in truth. See See that? They don't have to believe your truth. They don't have anything like that, to join with them in truth. And basically what that is joining to unburden ourselves. All right?
Oh, this is...
So here's the next line from the lesson. Myself, which rules the universe, is but your will in perfect union with my own. Myself, which rules the universe, is but your will in perfect union with my own.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You see that? So
I can feel that.
It's really the same. It's really the same.
Yeah.
So, which can but offer glad assent to yours. So this is what this is saying, is that God's will, being in perfect union with my own, can only offer glad assent of my own will into God's will. And it's really recognizing that my own will is God's will and not wanting a will apart from his. Remember, God's will is for my perfect happiness.
Mm-hmm.
See that? And that can only be granted now. And it can only be granted through my acceptance. So it's not really granted at all, is it?
No.
It's kind of like I granted it to myself because I accepted what was actually there instead of the mirages that I made and overlaid over it.
Yes. So it's a complete illusion that there is any will other than our will.
Which is one with God.
That's
exactly right.
Yeah.
And we're perfectly unaffected by perceiving anyone else's will as being apart from God. Say they want us to sacrifice to show that we love them. That's a dynamic that goes on between people a bunch of times. We don't have to buy into that dynamic. We don't have to resist it. We can just recognize that's not God's will for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then recognize it as a call for love and allowing God's will for you now, which is perfect happiness, to be extended. That's why it says here, the last part of it, that it may be extended to itself. Let's just do that line one more time. Myself, which rules the universe, is but your will in perfect union with my own, which can but offer glad assent to yours. So my will ascending to God's will, that it may be extended to itself. That's the children. See? Because when our will is aligned with God's will, that's how God is using, you can say God is using us, even though there's no God in us, just to point to extend his will, his love to his children. It can only come through us. God extending love and healing to his children.
Wow. Look at the thousands of years of programming, with all the different religions. And it's such a refreshing breath, such a refreshing fragrance to be alive now and have these scriptures, become the new way, which was always the way.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes. And the pointers, having Jesus channelings more recent, the pointers are just way more clear because we have more language to work with.
True that. Yeah, and he's come in other ways besides A Course in Miracles. Yes, to so many, so as the show progresses and it evolves, I'm going to be diving into a bit of that too. And yet I want to keep the focus on these three shows with these two healing paths and where they merge. So I'd like to read, I think it's the footnotes. Is that what you call them?
Yeah.
Yeah, footnote 57 on that same page. According to this final sentence, the reason we should accept that our external circumstances are chosen by us is that this awakens us to heaven, where our self, capital S, is all powerful. If we believe that nothing stands in the way of our will on earth, then we will be, quote, led past this world, end quote, to the heavenly state in which our will is so unopposed that it brings into being new creations.
What sweetness.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It makes me want to write a poem or paint a painting or sing a song or dance. You know, it's embodying the universe here now in this moment. It's such child's play.
It's fun. It's where the fun really begins, and that's what I see in my friends who are getting this. I'm seeing my friends getting this all around me, and they're going, "Wow, it's really fun. Everything just changed." Like, yeah, it's a completely different way of perceiving. And no, this is not new to me. I've been at it for a little bit.
Yes.
And I have had lots of experiments.
Many lifetimes you've been at this,
Yes.
Hope.
Yes.
And so we appreciate you so much for standing on your soapbox and shining like a newborn baby.
I'm just being called to let you know you are Jesus. Yeah.
Well, that's what
Jesus is consciousness, is a consciousness within you that you know very well. You can say Jesus, is known as the Christ, right? And that's you. That's you. He was a man in the dream, but in reality, it's a consciousness within you. So that is who we are, and what we're perceiving here, this show, what we're reading, anything like that, it's all authored by us. It's all coming from us.
Indeed. Wow. Well, it's 1:30, so it's time to say that you're listening to Let's Create Miracles. And we are broadcasting here from the jungle of Hanalei, KKCR, Hanalei, KAQA, Kilauea. And we're broadcasting all over the world. You can get us at, as you probably know, if you're not driving in your car, kkcr.org. But it's K2O 5 FM on Honolulu. And that's on cable. And it goes on and on. We've got Anahola, Moloa'a. They all have different streams. But I think it's now time for a song before we go any deeper. Now, just a brief introduction of this song. It was born, as I said earlier, gazing up into a night sky. We were living high above the smog line in Beverly Hills, Beverly Glen Canyon. So the winter skies are clear. There's no smog. We had a cheap telescope. We're staring up into the sky. And my friend Barney, who helped put the song together, and we centered in on the star Sirius because it's the brightest star you can see from Earth. Great reflection for what we're talking about in regards to who we are. And as we would smoke and we would spend hours and hours cruising the sky and kept landing on Sirius, we noticed that there was a message. There was a communication coming through Sirius, and it's blinking the entire spectrum of all the colors of the rainbow, one after another, and burning into our retina through this cheap telescope we got. The lens cost twice as much as the telescope we got at a garage sale, but nevertheless, we got this song, and the transmission came through, and it was like, as you'll hear in the song, if you listen to the lyric, there's a union that is happening And it is the same kind of union we've been talking about beyond the dream of all beings that we determine sentient in the entire universe. And what we noticed in cruising from star to star, there was two dominant lights. There were some stars were silver blue, just flickering beautiful silver blue, and some red and yellow. And this, of course, determined their age. But what the song is focusing on, it's singing to all the children, all the creations, let's use that word, in the universe as one. So enjoy the tune. Universe, we are. This is the heartbeat of the universe.
From the star we call the sun, home for the human race living as one. Beauty and grace somewhere in space, between where we're going and where we're coming from. Gaze into the telescope, wonder view for us. Silver, blue, red and yellow too. Universe of love. Now the time has come for all the children everywhere to see who they are. Taking what we've learned to join again with all the worlds afar. We are universe. We are.
Listen carefully.
When you look up into a clear night sky, what do you see? Can you feel our galactic family looking back on us through infinity? There are trillions of star systems encoding messages and traveling through light wave frequency.
one heart, one love. Well, there you go.
What fun. Thank you for sharing.
Yes, and you're listening to KKCR Hanalei and KAQA Kilauea. We have Hope Johnson from Hope Johnson Ministries gracing us today with her knowledge of creating miracles or just allowing miracles to appear through A Course in Miracles. Thank you, Hope, for joining us.
Thank you, Wayne.
And I would like to mention one more time, because it's coming upon the downbeat for Brother Lou Kaninau Kabibi. I hope that's his pronunciation of his last name. His celebration of life ceremony is happening in just about 21 minutes at the Kekaha Neighborhood Center. So you're if on the south side, or if you're on the west side, south side, you want to make it over to the Kekaha Neighborhood Center for Brother Lou's celebration of life, an amazing human beaming that graced our island so beautifully. Thank you, Brother Lou. We love you. Okay, so where are we in this miracle game? Do you have anything you want? Go ahead.
Oh, we are here as always.
You know, I love to play with words because I'm an author. And by the way, Hope's an author as well, has a great book on raising children. And I just love taking the T off the word there. People go, oh, well, I'm there. Or he's there. You know, like you drop the T and all of a sudden it becomes really present.
Right. We're all just perceiving what we put out there. So there can't be anything but this experience. So embracing this experience, that's being here and knowing everything is here now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so true. Hope, do you want to share with us some of the creations of your children that you have in the world that people can dip into, please?
Yes, it's all found on hopejohnson.org, O-R-G. There's a book, there's Unschooling for Parents, A Mystic's Guide to Awakening with Children, and you don't have to have children in the world to enjoy and get inspired by that book. Also, there's 2-hour wisdom talks that I do very often, and those recordings are available on my website. They're also available on all podcast stations. You could search for Hope Johnson Wisdom. I also read and contemplate the ACIM lessons. You can find that on all podcast stations and on my website too. On podcast stations, search Hope Johnson, ACIM. I have Substack where I also record spontaneous downloads that occur and record those right to some of my articles that I write there on Substack. All of this stuff can be linked to right on my website. On Telegram, it's Awakening with Hope. Add Awakening with Hope on Telegram. On Instagram, it's Awesome Hope Johnson. On Facebook, it's Hope Johnson, and I'm from Hawaii, so I think if you search that, you'll find me. Mm-hmm.
And I am totally addicted to the daily lessons that Hope does. She's just finishing up almost a whole year, because there are 365 lessons, and you know, I'm not doing one lesson a day. I'm not following that curriculum, because the lessons are so rich. See, Hope will read the lesson and then she does a commentary. It's some would refer to it as a channeling, but to me it's just a more wide and clear expansion on what the lesson is saying, and I get more value from those which reverberate into the lesson as well. So I highly recommend, if you're curious about A Course in Miracles and want to change your point of view of this earth and this dream that we're having in the mind of God, I think that's a really good way to go. Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely. And I'd like to say that, I use a Course in Miracles as a pointing. Like this knowledge, it does not come from any book. It's a true knowing, okay? It's a true knowing, the knowing of yourself in union with all, with God, with all, and also awareness of this relationship and turning this relationship to a holy relationship. The book, A Course in Miracles, gives us more words for pointing, but ultimately there's a seeing of this beyond the words, that you just know with certainty that the truth is true, and you live in perfect freedom with everything that's arising.
Oh, so beautiful. And on that note, I would like to say you can find me on WayneKPowell.com. And it's the same kind of thing as Hope. You go there and you've got links to all of my albums, all of my books, and Substack, the whole works. So that's Wayne, the letter K, Powell.com. And to close out the show, I would love to play another song from the Great Love Aloha Nui album that Patty Kaleokalani Miller and myself, we created when we were married. This song is called I Am. And I think it's a great fitting song to kind of climb into everything you've experienced here today. You can treat it as a meditation if you like. You can sing along because it is actually a chant that was born here on the island of Kauai. I was driving, this is quite a few decades ago, all the way from the Kealohi Valley, where my third son was born, around the island to the North Shore, to Honolulu, where my video store was, every day, early in the morning. And one day I noticed that every single time I took that drive, the island appeared and felt more beautiful than the day before. And I thought, how is this possible? How could beauty just keep blooming more and more every day? I'm driving alone, windows are open, trade winds blowing through, sunny days mostly. So I just send up how is this possible, I said to God. And this chant came to me instantly. And it's called I Am. So this chant is from the island of Kauai, sung through the voices of Wayne Powell and Patty Miller. Enjoy. I am spirit alive. I am spirit alive. You are spirit alive. You Hope, thank you again for joining us. We're going to play a happy song now as we transition into Let It Flow.
Have you ever lost your way? Have mercy, thinking about yesterday.